Why has the sun now gone in? I came and sat out here because I thought it would be nice to sit outside in the sun, so hopefully it comes back. Come on. Welcome back to my channel, guys. I hope you guys are doing well. Let me just make sure this is focused because you never know. If you guys can hear neighbour children, that is because I live next to children who are my neighbours. Today I thought we could get together again and talk about something that I think isn't necessarily talked about, especially among young women in this day and age very much. I think I realised something recently, and that is that I think modern dating has become more of a recruitment job search than as much of a relationship and love search. It seems to be very popular among young women in particular, that it feels almost as if girls are looking for candidates for a job position rather than for a partner. We've all grown up being told not to settle. We all want someone who can communicate perfectly, who can empathise, who can understand us, who can make us laugh, who is motivated, ambitious, emotionally mature, loyal, spontaneous, but also stable. Basically everything, right? And I think in the beginning that sounds really healthy. That is where you want to set your bar, you want to set it as high as you can and not settle for any less. But I feel personally what I've come to know is kind of an uncomfortable truth. There's a difference between standards and expectations that no human can realistically meet. I feel like we don't want a partner anymore. We want a best friend, a soulmate, an emotional support buddy, a therapist, a life coach, all wrapped up in one person. That's a lot of pressure. And to me, when you put that much pressure on a relationship and that person becomes responsible for all of those things, even a good relationship could break down. I'm gonna need me some of these. I feel like that kind of opens the door into you believing that any good relationship could be lacking in some way because nobody is perfect, right? A lot of the expectations always sound like this. They should always communicate well, they should make me feel loved, they should always understand me. But realistically, no human can meet that criteria. People get stressed, they shut down, they don't always show up perfectly. I'm sure we all every now and then say the complete wrong thing, and that is no different for someone that you're looking for in a partner. When your expectation is always anything less feels like failure. And let's be honest, social media hasn't helped. We're constantly seeing highlight reels of relationships, perfect moments, perfect dates, perfect communication, perfect chemistry. But you're not seeing the arguments, you're not seeing the breakdowns, the miscommunication, the off days. You see couples online like, POV, he planned you a picnic and wrote me a handwritten letter. And then you're sat at home and your partner forgot what you said 10 minutes ago and is having cereal for dinner. And you're just like, why is my relationship not like this? But it's because your relationship is real. And real relationship is far better than something that has been carefully manufactured on the internet. And I think it's always telling because that person has set up a camera and placed it there strategically to film these things. It's not for that other person necessarily, it's also for the attention on social media. When someone always feels like they have to live up to a perfect standard, it will get exhausting. Like, imagine waking up every day knowing today I must be funny, emotionally available, attractive, productive, romantic, and say all the perfect things all of the time. That's not a relationship, that's a full-time job. I think the truth of it is that that doesn't really exist. Sometimes the problem isn't that they're not enough. Sometimes it's that your expectations are based on a version of someone that doesn't exist. Like, you've created this perfectly calm, emotionally available, always knows what to say human, but that person would be exhausting to date anyway. So I think instead of asking why aren't they perfect, try and find your version of perfect, which fits into your imperfections too. Relationships aren't about finding someone flawless. They're about finding someone slightly unhinged that matches your unhinged. I give full respect to any girls who, of course, want to go out and live their life and have their expectations as high as possible, but I also think you are stunted when it comes to being in a relationship. It's all about compromise, right? Like, you can't be in all of these healthy, happy relationships without the bad parts. And if I knew that a guy that liked me and I liked them was having these expectations that maybe I would have, it would stress me out. Honestly, I think it's hard because, coupled with social media, we have got no chance at finding true love because men and women are both as imperfect as each other. I definitely have days where I'm an absolute dick, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm a human being. You're a human being. It's just, you've got to be with someone who's going to try and right their wrongs, trying to be a better person or a better version of themselves every single day. And that's all you can really ask. But it does feel like an interview process nowadays. Like, it feels very much like we are hiring for a perfect position and trying to find the perfect candidate. Every wrong move someone might make is just like another step in the interview process. To me, I just find it a little sad because I think the main thing that a relationship takes is that you've just got to both work really hard, and if there's love there and attraction there, the effort to both try and push through any hard times is what makes love work. It's what makes a relationship work. No human being can be consistently good enough for anyone. I think we all mess up, but if you're looking for love and maybe you've created a criteria that might be pretty unattainable, that might also reflect on you as a person, that you're not willing to sacrifice any of your peace and freedom to be with someone else. And of course, you could be in the safety net of your own company forever. But to me, I'm a hopeless romantic. I am a die-hard lover girl, and that sacrifice is always worth it to me, even if it ends up badly. I love love, and I want every inch and moment of it, regardless of how I may get hurt in the future, Have we become too strict? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe we have. I don't know. I think everyone's on their own journey, of course. And so what can you do? You can just let people do their thing. But I don't know. I see a lot of these videos and things on social media nowadays, which is all about, standards and not settling. And I can happily say that I love my relationship, and that doesn't mean that every single day of it is a perfect day. It doesn't mean that we don't butt heads at times, but it is worth it. It's worthwhile for those moments and those days where I feel utterly comfortable in someone else's presence, and I know that they are willing to give me the space I need and protect me and push me up when I don't necessarily feel pushed up. I think that's just such a beautiful thing, and I don't want anyone to not experience that. I think it'd be sad not to give it a shot. So maybe if this does resonate with you, and maybe you do feel that your expectations could be a little high or strict, maybe loosen up and just try and have a bit of fun, and don't be afraid of falling in love with the wrong person, because you can always undo that. You can always make the wrong decision and be with someone that isn't for you, but you'll never really know. It takes such effort to stay together and to push through times where you're not in a happy place. It doesn't necessarily reflect on the relationship. It could just be that one of you is unhappy or not where they need to be, and then the other person might be, you know, it's never that you're both on level playing fields, level, you know what I mean. Like, I feel like one person is ahead, the other person's behind, and it like swaps over, but it's nice to have that boost from someone who's not in your head. I just thought it was an interesting conversation to have. Maybe we have become quite strict through the expectations of other people, and the things we see online is that creating a space where, although we're choosing as women to be single for longer, which is a great thing, like, are we choosing loneliness out of fear of not having someone who will fit our expectations perfectly? I don't know. It is all up for discussion, and I do not judge anyone for what they want to do in a relationship, whether they want to be in one or not. It's totally down to you. But yeah, I don't often see this talking point, so I thought I'd put it out there today. If you've been in England recently, you know how bloody beautiful it has been this week. Oh, did I just press something? I'm just sat on the floor. That's my house. But I just thought, before the sun decides to leave us again, which it probably will over the next few days, I think it's been like 20 odd degrees this past week, and it has been lovely. If this video did make you think or feel a little differently, please let me know in the comments. Do you think expectations are ruining modern relationships? Let me know. Okay guys, I'm gonna go get on with my work, but I wanted just to talk to you first because YouTube is love, YouTube is life. Thank you for being here. I'll see you next week. Bye.